Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. Welcome back and thank you for joining us at day 5 of Lakmé Fashion Week's Digital First Season Fluid Edition. We all just witnessed an exotic and vibrant showcase by Aisha Rao and Punit Balana. Joining us today are the talented designers themselves, Punit Balana, Aisha Rao, as well as her beautiful muse, Athia Shetty. Punit, Aisha, I'd like to first thank you and congratulate you for kickstarting the day 5 of Lakmé Fashion Week on a glamorous note. It's always so good to have you back at LFW. This being our first virtual edition, your showcase has surely made it even more special. All of us tuned in here want to hear about your showcase as well as the work that went behind making it happen. So I'll start with Punit. Punit, your collection Muneer was a celebration of new beginnings, beauty, hope, and awakening. Tell us about the thought behind it.
So Muneer, basically, it's a Urdu word, and it's Muneer. Muneer is an idea, and it looks at the world with a different glance, one that's perhaps silent. And this is basically a very close. It's one of the most closest collection to my heart because it comes from a sacred realization that no matter what circumstances we are in, we have to we can't give up on hope. So yeah, so that's Muneer for me, a bright shining star in the middle of this pandemic.
Thank you so much, Punit. Could you also, elaborate on the motives that you have used in this collection?
So Muneer, basically, it's a 3-color story. Rapture rose color, buttercup, and third is blood red. For the very first time, we have used red in our collection, and it's a block printed collection. As all my collections are Jaipur based, and most of them are block printed. So it's one of the block printed collection from Punit Balana this time also, and. Yeah, when it comes to embroideries, we always try and experiment with a lot of embroideries. This time we have come up with the new embroidery technique, which is we've used coin work with a lot of beautiful, colorful resham like reds and pinks. Unlike Punit Balana, we have used a lot of bright colors this time. Otherwise, all my collections are muted and so. Because we wanted to come up with something which is bright, which is festive after this whole darkness. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Punit. Aisha, coming to you now. Your collection, Pastiche, was a kaleidoscope of colors that fitted perfectly with the theme of the show. Tell us what went behind making of the collection.
So the word pastiche is it's basically an artistic work that's inspired by another artist or a period. And our collection was a homage to this Australian artist called Chris Cannings and her still lives that depict a vast variety of Australian flora, like tamarillos, persimmons, oriental poppies, very exotic species. And also this collection was being designed in July or August of 2019. We were working one collection in advance. And, we were hearing so much about that mass extinction of species in Australia with the bushfires. And that was the big thing in 2019, that those fires lasted for a year, and we were hearing about how these 1,000 tons of CO2 has gone up in the air, and indelible impact on deforestation and things like that. And the more you read, Google just keeps putting similar content on your Instagram, on your feed and Facebook. And so even for that matter on Pinterest, and a lot of this work that I was reading about Australia and about the species, one of the works that I had come up on my Pinterest feed was these beautiful artworks of Chris Cannings, and it completely resonated with me because I do a lot of color and I do big motifs, I do florals, I do exotic florals. So it immediately felt like the right medium to bring awareness to some of these species that we had lost. And also, this is the first time ever that we've tried to further our zero waste policy. Because earlier, since the inception, we've tried to make upcycled luxury products. which have relied extensively on applique and have tried to utilize most of our fabric scraps and our tailoring waste. That's why you see the colorful lehengas, because waste comes in a bunch of different colors, and all our linings, the bias fabrics, whatever gets left behind gets used on these lehengas. And for the first time, we've used sock waste in this collection. These sock bands that get left behind in the sock manufacturing process, we've cut them up, chopped them into small pieces, and hand sewn them into every single motif. So 70% of the lehenga is made of sock waste, and the base fabric is also degradable. So it's that 20%, that kardana outing, is the only thing that's left behind that's not sustainable. So for the first time, we've tried to broaden the horizon with how sustainable clothing should look. It need not have to fit into that box of oversized cotton clothing. It could be a glamorous lehenga and it could be sustainable. So that was the inspiration. That was the end result. I hope it reflected the ideology.
It definitely did, Aisha. Tell us, how did you come about choosing Athia as your showstopper?
Well, we design, so you've seen the clothes, they're vibrant, they're young, they have a fun vibe, they're full of color. And we design for millennial women, women who invest in brands with a story to tell, who want something beyond just another floral lehenga. And I felt that Athia was the embodiment of that young millennial woman who's our muse. And the fact that she's stunning and pulls off everything like beautifully just only helped.
Thank you. That's sweet.
That's lovely. Athia, coming to you now. It's always good to have you back at LFW. Tell us, what is it like to, walk the virtual ramp for Aisha?
It was actually an amazing experience. I did miss the energy and the people and the cheering, and it's just a different vibe when you're walking the ramp. But I have to say that everybody pulled it off amazingly. It was extremely well organized, very safe. And I feel like the energy and the warmth and the love was still there because everybody was working so hard to put a great show together. And I loved working for Aisha, and I'm so touched, and I appreciate her choosing me to be a part of her journey of Fashion Week. And I love what her brand and what she stands for. I think we've, as human beings, we've been through such a journey these past 8 months with so much that's happened. And I feel like it's important that we as people are more responsible. Sustainable fashion is something that I feel very, very strongly about. And it's definitely something that I want to promote. And it was so strange that this collaboration happened. And this was my first attempt to kind of, speak about sustainable fashion and just take that stand and, be a part of her voice. So I feel really, really special. Yeah.
What did you love the most about your show-stopping look?
So usually I'm not a person who wears a lot of color. So I feel like this was very, very different for me. I was wearing beautiful, vibrant colors, and it was just something that I've never done before. I'm always, wearing nudes or like pastel colors. So this was completely different, and I felt very, very confident and lovely in her silhouette. I feel like the fit was perfect. The embroidery, it wasn't too heavy. Usually when you're wearing lehengas, it's heavy and like you're not very comfortable. But I feel with Aisha Rao, even Punit, actually, I have to say, like, I love your clothes, and I feel both of them just embody outfits and silhouettes for all women and all different shapes and sizes, and that's what makes a woman feel confident and comfortable in her own skin. So I was very, very comfortable.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Athia. Thank you, Punit, Aisha, for joining us.
I agree with Athia because I wore Punit Balana today in the morning for the Shera Puja. I just changed into mine. Coincidentally, I had to change it to mine because it was so strange sitting in your outfit and trying to talk.
I have two, more clients, and I'm so happy that Athia loved my clothes, and you were wearing already.
No, I'm glad. Like I said, I would have not even changed, but I think my publicist was like, "You can't be wearing this outfit if we're talking about your work." But Congratulations. It was a great show. I really like your outfits anyway.
Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. So now I'd like to open the floor for questions. I'd request all the attendees to submit your questions in the Q&A box below, and we'll take it from them. Great. We already have questions. Right. So Aisha, there's a question for you. Could you please elaborate on Athia's, show-stopping look and the fabric in your collection?
So Athia's look was a printed, embellished look with the current times that we're in and how people are responding to this whole pandemic. The market has become extremely price sensitive. Although people love the whole applique thing, they know, and we are price competitive for a Renga. We are very competitively priced, but people definitely want to do small scale ceremonies. They don't want to wear elaborate clothes for homebound weddings. So we had to kind of introduce prints. It was never our thing to introduce prints because there's so many already in the market. So we tried to do something very different. We Athia's outfit actually was a merger of Chris Canning's style of art and my signature look. It almost is like the patchwork is evident. You see a bunch of like a blob of blue, a blob of plum and a red. So it looks like it's been patched and all the outfits are highlighted with enough embellishment. So it looks like an applique, but it's actually a print. So that, and it's affordable. So that's how we've tried to crack the current market. Hopefully it will resonate with people that want to buy an Aisha Rao, but don't want to spend a huge amount of money on a lehenga.
Aisha, couldn't agree more. Punit, next one's for you. Can you tell us about your experience, when putting up a show remotely, and how was the virtual experience?
I think the creative process is pretty much same, no matter the show is virtual or is physical. But yeah, that backstage hula hoo and that we definitely missed. And but yeah, it was a beautiful experience. It was a different digital experience. But yeah, the only few, that excitement when we are backstage, that was missing. But when we have like digital things, so we have other benefits. I would say that we were restricted to 15-16 looks, but in a way that we got this opportunity to put our entire creativity in those looks. So yeah, it was for me, it was a mix of both.
Right. Aisha, would you like to add on to that?
Well, this is my first showcase ever. I've not really had an on-ground showcase experience, but I think what's visibly different is the fact that this is a slower process in multiple deadlines spaced from, it was a 2.5 month process. I think that adrenaline of just slogging it out on the last day and getting it over with it wasn't possible with this one. It was just, it required abundant patience because there was deadline after deadline and virtual fitting after virtual fitting. But yeah, I think grass is always greener on the other side. When I'd actually, even when I do an on-ground showcase, I'll probably say that, oh, the digital one was so much nicer, it was well spaced, it wasn't this crazy. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was my first and it's very special.
Thank you, Aisha. Athia, next one's for you. Given the lockdown, how has your style statement evolved in the couple of months? What is it like right now? And with the upcoming festivities, how do you plan to switch it up?
So my style statement for the last 8 months have been pajamas. I feel like even when we're on Zoom meetings, we're wearing a really nice top and then pajamas below. So I feel like I've become really lazy with my sense of style and fashion. I'm more into being comfortable, which I always had before, but now it's just a bit more, I'm more into being comfortable and wearing lighter fabrics, cottons, just more breathable. And also, I feel like in this time, at least I haven't shopped. So I've been just reusing and wearing a lot of the clothes I already have and rediscovering what I have. So that's been nice as well. And for the festive seasons coming up, I feel like for me, Fashion Week was like a festival because I was dressing up and I was wearing hair and makeup and a lehenga and pretty jewelry. So that was a festival itself. But otherwise, yeah, I feel like even going ahead, I think less is more. I think to be more comfortable, not to just overdo it for the sake of it. And yeah, I feel like we have two really great designers who have such amazing clothes for that.
Punit, Aisha, next one's for you. Could you tell us what are your thoughts on fashion films being the way forward now?
Well, if that is the way forward, that is the way forward. I barely have a choice in on the matter. But I think the whole world is a digital place now, and the kind of content creation that's happening on so many OTT platforms. People definitely want to go for physical shows, but the fact that for 1 year we've not experienced public gatherings, it just feels strange to enter into a place with so much bustling energy. I think people are very comfortable after a long day's work, just sitting and browsing and looking at stuff on their iPad, on their phones, on their laptops. So I think it's great. I mean, whatever medium gets the message out is great.
So, what are your thoughts on the future of fashion, the fashion films going forward? Do you think that is the way forward now?
I think things are getting back to normal. So fashion films are add-on to it, and here's to say it's a unique concept for showcase the collection. But hoping we get back to the physical ones soon. Yeah, but I think things are getting back to normal. So it's a great.
Thank you so much, Puneet, Aisha, and Athya. With this, we come to an end of this session. Thank you all for joining us. For more information on Aisha Rao and Puneet Balana showcase, please visit the gallery at the LFW Virtual Hub, and we'll see you soon again. Until then, have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.